and he was watching TikTok for the entirety of my exercise. For the like 10 plus minutes of me doing my exercise, he did not do a single set. What's going on, YouTube? Certified personal trainer, full-gainz, back with another video. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, then welcome. Today we are going to be talking about 7 steps you should be taking to build more muscle fast. Whether you are brand new to the gym or you've been going for some time now, even if you are an advanced lifter, I can guarantee that focusing on one of these 7 steps will catapult you into that next level of muscle growth. Starting off with number 1, we have intensity. You are not training hard enough. The gym is an uncomfortable place. It is not meant to be comfortable. You are not meant to be comfortable. If you aren't leaving sweat marks on the bench when you get up, you aren't training hard enough. If you aren't making facial expressions towards the end of your set, then you're not going to progress. You should not just be sitting there like a stone-faced Giga Chad, emotionless. I should be able to tell that you are in pain. Not real pain, but that you are uncomfortable. Remember, no facial expressions equals no effort. And that leads nicely into my next point. You need to be failing more. A lot of beginners think that they're failing, but they actually have a few more reps left in the tank. If you don't know how to fail, learn it, and then do it more. Do it on your last set, on your last 2 sets, just basically every exercise. How else are you going to tear your muscle fibers enough to make them grow? When you fail, you don't have to stop the set there. You can do these things called myo reps, which they're basically like half reps. Let's say that you are doing a dumbbell curl and you get to that last rep and you can't go all the way up. You can't get to the top. What you can do is bang out another couple of half reps at the bottom. It's going to hurt a lot and you're going to feel like you're ego lifting, but you're not. That is super helpful for muscle growth, and that basically helps me go up in weight every single week. So number 3 is rest time in between sets. A lot of people take way too much rest time. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. You will see people walking around the gym, talking to everybody, hanging out on their phone, scrolling down Instagram reels, and just basically anything they can do to not be working out. The other day at the gym, I sat down at a bench to do dumbbell incline bench press, and there was a guy next to me on another bench, and and he was watching TikTok for the entirety of my exercise. For all of the 2 warm-up sets and 4 working sets, this guy did not do a single set. I literally sat down as he was finishing up his set. And then for the like 10 plus minutes of me doing my exercise, he did not do a single set. You guys, this is not going to help you. If you are a beginner, you don't need more than a minute of rest. I mean, hell, some beginners can take 20 seconds of rest. It's crazy. You really don't. If you're an intermediate or you're an advanced lifter, it's okay to take two minutes, especially on the heavier exercises, to rest, right? If you're doing a set of super heavy squats, like extremely heavy, super low reps, it's totally okay to take 2 or 3 minutes as, an intermediate expert, right? But as a beginner, you're doing squats, you should take about a minute, maybe a minute and a half in between each set. You want to keep the blood flowing. This will help you grow the most. Speaking of growing the most, this is probably the most important step on this list in terms of things you should be doing in the gym to help you grow, and that is volume. Go to the gym more. For beginners, it's okay to be going 2 to 4 times per week. It's a good mix of exercising and rest days. You're going to need a good amount of rest as a beginner, just to get adjusted to pushing your body so hard. As an intermediate, you should be going about 4 to 5 days per week. And then as an advanced lifter, like, 8+ years of being in the gym, you should be going 6 to 7 days a week. If you can, recover. Obviously your body most at this point. So the majority of you advanced lifters out there should be going about 6 to 7 days per week. 7 days per week sounds like a lot, but it's basically impossible to overtrain. People have been overestimating how easy it is to overtrain the past few years, and recently people have been coming to an understanding that it's actually like almost impossible to overtrain. You'd have to be going to the gym like twice a day to to be overtraining yourself. Another thing to note on volume is if you are doing all of your exercises of a particular muscle group on one day of the week, don't do that. Spread them out throughout the week. So if you are doing all of your arm exercises on Monday and then you don't touch your arms for the rest of the week, you are not really going to see that much growth. Your arms recover like within the next day or two. So instead of blasting your arms for Monday, maybe do a little bit of triceps Monday, a little bit of biceps Tuesday, a little bit of triceps Wednesday, biceps Thursday, and so on and so forth. You only need a few sets per day, and this goes for basically all of your muscle groups. So I go to the gym 6 days a week, and I hit legs 2 out of those 6 days. On a lot of my leg days, my legs are sore. But you got to remember that level of soreness does not equal level of recovery. You can be sore and fully recovered at the same time. This is something that took me a long time to figure out. It kind of makes sense in your head. It's like, okay, well, my body part still hurts, my muscle still hurts, so maybe I shouldn't train it. That's not true. You should be training it after a few days. A few days of rest is all you need. If your leg is sore after a week, like, chances are you're not training it enough. That's your problem, is that it's not getting trained enough. So obviously if it's pain, that's another story, but soreness does not equal level of recovery. So our next thing that will absolutely catapult you forward and can almost always be improved is your nutrition. I had a personal trainer who told me that gains are made in the kitchen. And, a lot of people say that. It's not something that he invented, but it really did help. You can have the best workout program in the world, but if you just eat McDonald's every day, you're not gaining muscle for shit. I'll tell you that from experience, because I used to eat McDonald's every day. Hit your protein goals, but it should be quality food. Good, whole foods that you cook yourself, or if you have to, get takeout from good, high quality places, not trash, garbage, empty calories. It won't do anything for you. If you want to gain weight, eat more goddamn food. I had a serious problem where I was way too skinny for a good chunk of my life. Once I started eating a lot of food before I went to sleep and eating breakfast, which I skipped breakfast my whole life. Once I started eating breakfast, everything changed for me. My weight started going up like that. It was awesome. If you are trying to lose weight but build muscle at the same time, like I'm currently doing, what you should do is stay in a slight caloric deficit and then bust your ass at the gym. That's all it really takes. It's going to take a little bit of time. It takes more time than just being in a 2,000 calorie deficit. It's going to take a lot more time than that, but it's a great way to not lose muscle. The important thing here is that you're still hitting your protein goals. That's 1 gram of protein per lean pound of body mass. Not just body mass overall, lean weight. My lean mass is about 170 pounds, but I weigh 220. Because I have such a high body fat percentage right now, my lean mass is going to be a lot lower. So I don't need to be getting 220 grams of protein in every day. I only need about 170. Okay, so number 6 is sleep. You need to be getting better sleep. A lot of you are on your phones. You could be watching this right now when you should be sleeping. The thing about devices is they emit blue light. We just gotta avoid that. A lot of devices now, like TVs, tablets, phones, they have a blue light setting where you can basically stop it from emitting blue light. You can get blue light glasses, or you could just turn off screens for an hour before you go to sleep. One other thing that really affects your sleep is caffeine. You really should not be taking any caffeine 8 to 12 hours before you go to sleep, because it actually stays in your system a lot longer than you would think. That's why a lot of people who drink coffees throughout the day say that they can fall asleep, but they don't go into a deep sleep. And that's true because the caffeine is keeping them a little bit awake. So if you were to have a Ghost energy drink at 3 p.m., then by 9 p.m., you would still have about 100 milligrams of caffeine in your system. By 3 a.m., you might still have 50, depending on your metabolism. So it actually affects you a lot more than you think. Just be aware of that. And remember that more sleep does not equal better sleep. If you get 12 hours of sleep, you might have been better off with just 8. So that's a good thing to remember. Sleep is where your body builds the most muscle. It's not in the gym. It's not actually in the kitchen. It's sleeping. It's when you're asleep. The last step that you can take to catapult your gains in the gym is track everything. Mostly everything. Track your nutrition. Track your reps and sets. And if you want, you can track your sleep. To track your reps and sets and exercises in the gym, I recommend getting a workout log. I love this thing. I will link it in the description. I'm not sponsored or anything by them. It's like, I'm pretty sure you get 2 of these for $20 on Amazon. And it's great because it tells you your reps and sets, and there's like a little calendar at the beginning so you can check off what days of the week you're going, and you can figure out your the average amount of time you're spending at the gym. Interesting stuff if you want to track all that stuff. I just like to do the reps and sets and exercises and weights. If you go to the gym and you do 50 pounds on the shoulder fly machine, so next week you come back and you're like, oh, how much should I do on this exercise? You might think like, oh, I didn't finish my set or something, right? Because you have too many exercises to keep track of. So you're just going to pick 50 reps again, and then you're going to be in this like cycle of just doing the same weight over and over every week. If you get yourself a workout log, you're going to know, okay, maybe I can go up 5 pounds, or maybe I can go up a few reps. Or maybe I should add an extra set or take away a set. You can leave yourself notes. These things are very important to optimize how you're doing in the gym. So that's one of the things you should be tracking. Another is a calorie tracker and or protein. If you are bulking, you don't really need to track your calories because you're fucking bulking. Like, just eat more. But you should be tracking your protein, whether you're cutting or bulking. An easy way to do that is just have an app on your phone. There's like MyFitnessPal. I like to use the Lose It app. Either way, you could be doing this on a pen and paper. It doesn't really matter how you do it. Tracking your protein, though, is important because if you don't get enough protein, your body doesn't have the fuel required to completely restore and grow the damaged muscles. So if you're getting half of what you need in protein, you're not going to progress. And finally, this can help with the previous two. If you can afford one, get a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, because these will track your calories and even your sleep, if that's something you want to track. And knowing how many calories you burn is super important for bulking and for cutting. Just remember that the Fitbits can overestimate from 20 to 40%, but these are a great tool to use rather than just guessing how much you're burning each day. That is all I have for you guys today. These are things that will absolutely catapult you to your next level of muscle building fast. I mean, you'll see improvements quickly if you just fix one of these, because I'm willing to bet you have not perfected all of these. I haven't either. So take one, take a few of them, focus on them, and you'll start to see, like, oh shit, I built an extra, you know, 5 pounds of muscle this year just because I started getting better sleep or something like that. Anyways, guys, I wish you luck in your muscle building journey. I really appreciate you watching the video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.